man. I do what I do.
Right? They can't see straight, but that's not me. You see, because I maintain my free thinking ability. You see, and that's what I want you all to do. Somebody type vote your interest in the chat room. All right. Somebody type vote your interest in the chat room. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. Let's give you I want you guys to think about this. Like I said, as a black Trump supporter, and I say that as a lifelong Democrat who voted for Trump for the past two election, I take pride on my values, my faith, and my family, and my hard work, and my patriotism. You see, that's why I always acknowledge the men and women who served in the military. That's why I tell you I appreciate the police, even though I do want police reform. You know, we believe in law and order, but we reject false promises of the Democrat Party, which has done nothing for Black America in that regard. But we need to be clear. We're not blind. And it's our responsibility to call out what we see, even when it comes from the Republicans, who many of us may have just aligned with. Now, before I go any further, I want to give a big shout out to all the people who sat on the couch, where my couch sitters at, who said, I can't vote for either one of these sides at this particular time. Okay? Because they themselves call out the BS, and they call it out on both sides. But you know, Uncle D is about that low tax life. Okay? And nevertheless, unlike the sheep in the Democratic Party who vote blue no matter who, even if it goes against their interests, I wasn't trying to go, me and the folks on the couch, we didn't want to just go along with the narrative. What we see happening right now is political theater. Yes, young DJ Daniel is an incredible young man, and his fight against cancer, his spirit, and his drive to serve in law enforcement are inspiring, and he deserves recognition. But let's not pretend that his moment on stage wasn't carefully orchestrated or predicted. Let's be real. If the Democrats had done the same thing, we'd be calling them out. So why should we ignore it just because it benefits the Republicans and we happen to vote for the Republicans this time? No. Black Americans have a long, difficult history with law enforcement, and it's not something that can be ignored, whether we talk about the 1960s movements where peaceful Black protesters were beaten and attacked by police dogs and sprayed with fire hoses, and there are demand for equal rights, and all the bloody Sundays from that happened, whether we're talking about the one in Alabama and the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, or whether we're talking about the dirty cops who would typically use their badge to harass Black folk back then in the South. They got the KKK hoods on at night. Whether we're talking about the war on drugs in the 1980s and 90s with all these Democrat-led crime bills and mandatory minimum sentences, whether we talk about stop and frisk in the 2000s up in New York, where they routinely harassed Black men and searched and detained them, or these modern day killings by these crazy cops out here that don't have control of themselves or just overly emotional. Look, we support good police officers. We believe in law and order. We believe in justice. If anybody else in America believes in justice, be absolutely certain that Black folks believe in justice. Okay? Many of us rejected the lies of Black Lives Matter as an organization, even though we believe Black Lives Matter as a theme or mantra. You understand? We recognize them as being pro-crime and anti-family in their agenda. We recognize that, but we still believe that Black Lives Matter. But you can't pretend that Black Americans shouldn't have a reason to be skeptical about policing. And then here you are dressing DJ Daniels up in a police uniform and parading him around in front of America. And this wasn't the first one. The Texas Rangers did the same thing. He's been adopted in many police forces. There's photographs of him all over. But nevertheless, this is a calculated move, and it forces Black Americans into a no-win situation. If we celebrate DJ Daniel, then we're accused of ignoring history and turning our backs on our community. If we call it out of him being used and we're labeled as heartless, anti-Trump, or even anti-Black or anti-law enforcement. But we see the game being played here. And we've seen it before. Whether we talk about Ali, Kaepernick, DJ Daniel is just another one. You see? They loved Ali until he spoke out against the Vietnam War. They loved Kaepernick until he spoke out against police reform. They hated Martin Luther King when he died. They dug him up when he was and put him back up and said he preached peace when we had these other modern day activists. Shout out to Black Sam. We got 21 super chats. That is outstanding. But they used King against, and then now they destroying him again. So what happens when this little boy grows up? DJ Daniels grows up and starts thinking for himself. So here's a real question. All right, what happens when he's no longer useful to these people who are using him? Are these same people going to stand by him when he starts thinking for himself, when he starts asking tough questions? Are they going to discard him like they've done so many other black men like him? We already know the answer. The same people who cheer you now will be the first to turn on you when you step outside their carefully crafted narrative. Because the moment a Black person stops being useful, they stop being celebrated. Again, white supremacy is built on a weak foundation and it's fragile. And it must be constantly reinforced with new lies and new distortions and new mascots. And when they could no longer justify slavery, they created Jim Crow. When Jim Crow collapsed, they created mass incarceration to keep Black men behind bars. And when mass incarceration was exposed, they created tough on crime laws to continue the oppression. And when all else fails, they find a Black face to validate their policies. And that's why they tell you the pyramids were built by aliens, not Black Africans. The Civil War wasn't about slavery. It was about states' rights. And the American dream is open to everyone, even if history tells you otherwise. They keep remaking these fabrications and falsehoods. And when the one lie collapses, they replace it with 10 more. Look, as a Black conservative, and I'm not talking about them extreme ones that's on the internet yelling. I am not one of them. I am your basic Black Southern Baptist church attending Southern conservative. I want you to understand that. I'm your grandma's Black conservative. You understand that? That's who I am, not these modern day people who just want to get, likes and whatnot. That ain't what I am. But nevertheless, us common sense Black conservatives that don't forget that we Black, we are in a very unique position. Because see, we believe in law and order. We believe in strong families. We believe in the values that Trump is promoting right now. But that don't mean we ignore the facts. Because here's the truth. Black Americans are not political pawns. We're not props for photo ops. And we're not your doggone mascot for either one of these parties. Whether we talk about the welfare mom who's in need, that's always been propped up by the Democrat side, or the Black conservatives dressed up in the police officer uniform. Yeah, we support Trump, we support law enforcement, and we support DJ Daniel, but we refuse to be used. See, this is about real policies, not political theater. If America truly wants to honor Black lives, then it must dismantle the corrupt police unions that protect these bad cops, end policies that unfairly target Black communities, and invest in real opportunities for Black children, not just some doggone symbolic gestures. And we as Black conservatives, common sense conservatives, not the extremists, not the far right weirdos screaming on the internet all the time, we must remain principled. We can't blindly follow one party or the other. We must hold all of our leaders accountable, even when we support them. We love our country. We built this country. We fought in every war that this country fought in. We fought, we died, we bled, and we support our president. And we can still do that and believe, have some of these common sense, down home Southern Baptist conservative values. But we ain't no damn fools either. We done with all these political stunts that use black faces as props. We're done with fake allies who discard black folks once they stop being useful. And we definitely done with being told to ignore history just because we vote Republican. Oh, hell no. We here to be heard, not to be used. And we're going to call out the truth no matter who we make uncomfortable. This is Uncle D. I love you all. God bless y'all. I hope y'all have had a good night. I look forward to reading the comments. And as I always said this time, I'm out. What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D. People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You would tune in to Uncle D. Black man talk, pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something and you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Holly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you've been served, gotta notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.